Bonsoir, I'm Marie-Monique Stackel. I'm the president of the French Institute Alliance Française. And despite the cold, I'm so happy that so many of you could make it. And you're in for a very, very exceptional evening. In fact, tonight we're so lucky to have this pre-Oscar screening of Mustang. Deniz, and I'm looking at their name, Deniz Ergüven. It's our first feature film, and it was nominated for the best foreign language film for the Oscar from France. And she is both French and Turkish. And this incredible coming-of-age film was co-produced in France and with a French crew, and I hope they will win the foreign language movie, of course, and that's why you're here, to buzz and give a lot of strength to this. And this, so I want you to stay after the film is finished, because you will have the 5 sisters who are coming from Los Angeles tonight. They are coming actually this afternoon, and they will be here, and they are Turkish, and they're looking forward to meeting all of you and answering all your questions. And I want to special thanks to Charles Cohen, who is on our board and who is a distributor of this movie. And we would like also to thank Unifrance Film, the CNC, Centre National de la Cinématographie et de l'Image Animée. And don't forget that every Tuesday we have a wonderful program of movies that Delphine Céleste is organizing, and we count on you to come again. Thank you very much.
Deniz, Gamze. Günes, Sensoy.
Tugba, Sunguroglu. Elit, Iscan. And Ilayda, Akdogan. And Doga, Zeynep, Doguslu. All in the middle. You're stuck with me. It's such a great film. It's a real treat to have you here. There's so much to talk about. Our time is a bit limited, so I just wanted to ask a few questions about your collaborations, so that way you get to hear from all of you. You play so well together, you complement each other so well, and it looks like you're a very organic, tight group. So I'm going to start with Deniz. If you could explain a little bit about what you were looking for when you were doing the casting, and how you found all of them.
It was very clear that the 5 girls were one body with 5 heads, 10 arms, 10 legs. And it was this little monster of femininity who loses one piece after another during the film, assesses wounds, recomposes and strikes back. And they had to be very organic. Then it was like months of auditioning, and once I found girls who had like great acting qualities, it was about having the perfect distribution. One day, after I don't know how many combinations, it clicked, and they were literally like one body, breathing together, moving together, and yeah.
Yeah, you have that sense, they're all in one piece together. And I'm going to turn to all the actresses, and if you can talk a little bit about your experience working on the film, and what you got out of it. For 4 of you, it's the first film you do, and one of you has been in films before. Is that you? Yeah. I recognize you. If you want to talk a little bit about your experience, that would be great.
Okay. Well, I have worked in other films before. I worked with a director called Erdem, but it was the first time that I was working with a female director. and she made us feel very comfortable, and we were feeling very safe in the set. And she's a very strong and powerful woman. She was pregnant while we were shooting, so yeah. And yeah, it was great to work with her and with all these girls. It has been a great experience. And also, I really like the fact that the film is showing girls as heroes, not as victims. And I'm really happy that she has made this film, because finally we are having a chance to see women's world from a women's perspective.
It was a great experience for me too, and it was my first movie. And I want to continue acting. And we're like sisters with the girls now, so it was amazing to work with them. And I really think that this movie can make a difference to stop this, because it's something very important, and we should make people see it. So yeah.
Elit,
You can speak in Turkish. And do you mind?
Yeah, I'll translate for her.
Benim ilk deneyimimdi ve şey çok heyecanlandım. şey çok aslında yani çok korkuyordum ilk başta, çok zor olacağını düşünüyordum çünkü hiçbir eğitim almadan ya da biriyle çalışmadan bu deneyimi yaşadım ve aslında kızlarla tanıştıktan sonra çok kolay oldu çünkü hepsi benim kardeşim gibi ve sette çok eğlendik. Deniz'le çok iyi anlaştık ve evet.
She said that she was very frightened in the beginning. She was thinking that it was going to be so hard, but then when she met with the other girls and with Deniz, she really felt like as if we are real sisters, and then everything was so easy. It seemed very easy, and it was so much fun. And she.
It was my first movie too, so I really enjoyed being part of this, and the shooting was really exciting and fun, and when we first met with the girls there was something, and now we feel like sisters, and I'm really happy to travel all around the world with the movie and see how the people react to the film, because it's an important story to tell. Yeah.
And for me, it was my first movie too, and I played in little TV series when I was little, but it was my first serious acting, and it was really so much fun to shoot this movie, because in the movie we were sisters, but in real life we became sisters too. And actually, I want to ask a question to you. Did you see us when you sing the last things on the movie? Because we were dancing in here, and after that we saw you, and we were like, what? Did they see us? Did you see us? Perfect. And now we're like real sisters, and we were always hugging each other, and always it's always something happening around us. So it was really fun to shoot. And at one point too, someone needs to tell these stories, and someone needs to make this movie, and Deniz made this movie and tell this story to all around the world. And it is not just happening in Turkey, it's a universal subject, and I'm really thankful to Deniz to making me a part of this.
This is obviously a very, very good first film, and I think, Deniz, you know exactly what you wanted to do and your vision, and it turns out beautifully, where it brings so much emotion, and it's so layered and subtle, and at the same time, it feels like all of them just took ownership of the film, really. And so I wanted to ask all of you if you participated in a script, or did you bring ideas on the set, or did you improvise, or did Deniz knew exactly what she wanted and you worked with her that way? How did it work out?
Well, the script was very, very constructed, and it was like the inner workings of a little clock. There was many things which were essential, and I was very careful not to have holes in the story. And then there's many scenes when, of course, for example, when they are the body with 5 heads and they tickle each other. When they swim in the sheets, all those things are the frame of the scene is just okay. This is the sea, swim, and then they do and live inside those scenes, and of course there's like input, but it's a very, very constructed.
We have a few minutes for questions. If you want to raise your hand, we'll bring a microphone to you. So there's a sir right here. Thank you.
I was very struck by the camera work.
Yeah.
Can you comment on that?
Very good question.
The DOP was really almost like in orbit around the actors, and he has this beautiful way of staying very close to actors like a cat and following every movement. And what we had was the script is almost like a list of things you have to see. And we had set this house with always like things in the perspective, in the foreground, background, and holes to see what's outside and things like that. So we had our little dollhouse to navigate in, and so he managed. We were trying to link as much as we could the movements and the list of things we had to see, and so yeah, that was.
In the middle of that same.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. It was a phenomenal film. Thank you for being here. It was an amazing film.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I'm from that area of the world as well, and I'm just curious how the film was received in Turkey, and specifically in the urban centers like Istanbul, and versus the rural areas. And if you guys have had any sort of personal experiences with people who communicated how they felt about the film, or overall, like.
How the film was received in Turkey and especially in urban areas?
The reactions were very polarized, as the country is today. Like the film generates more warm reactions, and in Turkey it was really like people either love it or hate it, nothing in the middle. And the debate is very close to what's in conflict inside the film. So it's like what the girls do and live in the film can shock people, and so the argument is there. And then the second part of the debate is Turkey is a territory where you have little films which have traveled abroad, and so plus there was a precedent like Midnight Express, which was so damaging in terms of representation, and for decades, like Turks lived that as a truckload of merchants. Each time you said I'm Turkish, somebody would say I saw Midnight Express. Just libidinous, hairy, sweating, and fat to them, violent, awful. Anyway, so Turkish people are really susceptible about how you show the country, and I guess they would rather have it like Roman vacation type of movie than Mustang. So it's not a postcard, but it's a film, so it's covering like everything about the human experience, and some parts are dark, and it's not Turkish, it's just human.
We have a question down here.
All right, I'll shout. Öncelikle çok tebrik ederim hepinizi. Ayrıca geldiğiniz için çok teşekkürler. Congratulations. I was curious about, so the movie is a very Turkish movie, but it was French produced. I mean, by yourself, but I'm guessing with a whole big French crew. How was that interaction? Did that create any unique characteristics in the movie, or Was it more in like a supporting role?
Yes, well, the fact that I'm French-Turkish, the fact that as a filmmaker born in France, the fact that most of the creative team is my collaborators from film school or from that period, and plus it's a French initiative and it's a French film. And then it was a set where we had people from many different countries. There was like one German crew member who was Dilettante, who was the makeup artist, who was so tolerant because sometimes nobody made me afraid to speak English. So it was either French or English. And she was on her own for 7 weeks. So she was so patient. But it looked like, I don't know, we were on top of our hill, north of Turkey, like it felt like the edge of the world, and the top of the hill was like not explosions, but little fires being set, Günes one day setting on fire, the hair of an extra, like many things happening like that. And it was very international, and it felt like, it was some kind of a European ideal which lived through cinema, really, like, in terms of co-production, like people are collaborative, eager to know one another, like you would dream Europe would be like that.
Another question we'll take on this side. The lady with a light blue sweater.
I just 2 questions. How typical is the girl's experience? How typical is that in Turkey? And what is the meaning of the title of the film?
The film probably has great reality. It's told like as a tale, but many situations at the base of each scene are real. For instance, the scandal that the girls trigger when they sit on the shoulders of the boys, the girls beat in order of their ages, the characters of Selma taken to the hospital in the middle of the night because she hasn't planned on her wedding night. All those are things that I have lived or seen around me or documented for the needs of the script. But then the way the characters transcend that truth is that, for example, none of the girls of my family broke the chairs in the kitchen saying these chairs touch our assholes, isn't that disgusting? Like, that didn't happen. So that's not very typical. But the situations, are all real. And then the title had to reflect a temper of these girls, which was untamable, very free, their strength. And there was also the visual rhyme of their hair, and when they found in the village, they looked like a little pack of horses.
The title is great, it looks really well.
Hi, merhaba, çok tebrikler. I'm a Turkish film student from Istanbul, and this movie just hit so close to home. It made me so homesick. I have a headache from crying so much. And also my sister's the one in LA last night's question and answer, the one that cried. So I'm really like holding it right now. She says hi. I just want to say that this movie will last with me forever, and you're my role model from now on, and I will definitely take it with me. And it just inspired me so much to go back to Turkey and help those girls out. Yes, this is a universal problem, but it is happening very close to home. I have a question. Is this a multi-protagonist film, or is this movie about Lale, the youngest one?
Thank you for everything you said. And it's one character with 5 heads, a hijra. That's
Hi, I'm a film student as well, and I wanted to ask, what is your advice for aspiring filmmakers who are from Turkey, but who will have an international audience because they work outside of Turkey? And I just wanted to ask, what would you think we should think, and what could help us?
No, it's just be patient and perseverant and resilient, and just thinking that for me it took a while between film school and making Mustang. It was 8-9 years, something like that. I had a first project but I didn't manage to lift my sail, so it felt very dramatic in the like in the way that it was like I was at rock bottom, and now I have an Oscar nomination. And so it's like, and on that sense, it was a lot of work and struggle, but be patient and work very hard with actors and work on your script.
Okay, thanks.
We have time for one more question. Let's have someone to meet with the...
Hi, Deniz. Congratulations for the movie. And I want to ask you about the Oscars. We were talking about that, and you guys were there. I'm from Colombia, that is also in the nominations. So I wanted to ask you, of course, how was the experience in LA? I know you were there in a lunch with the rest of the directors. So how was LA?
How was the experience?
Yeah, the experience to meet all the directors and.
Great. No, the nomination is something which is really exceptional because it gives you so much resonance, and for a film like this one, it's just like, universal resonance, a lot of strength. Plus, in a debate which is quite muscular, the questions of the film gives us legitimacy back up. So yeah, it's great. Then about the Oscar lunch, it felt like the first day in school when you were 6 years old. Very exciting. Like the encounters. I never felt that. I was until I was 6. And class picture.
I have the microphone.
Okay, last question.
Congratulations, this was lovely. It seems like some of your actors were not professionals. Is that correct? And how was it working with them for you?
During the audition process, I really looked into their qualities of acting, even if they didn't act before, and they had like all great listening, great imagination, the capacity to dive into a theme, and then we gave them we worked those sets in boot camps, and so I felt very comfortable with them. And there was something which was this ground rule, like everybody told me since forever, which is when you have a non-professional or child actors, you cast very close to the character. But I didn't do that necessarily. Like to an extent. But for example, Günes was composing a lot most of the time, so I could rely on the girls as if they were professional actresses. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming.